Namaste. We will be talking about the impact of Hindu culture on Asian countries. Indian religion's influence on Southeast Asia is a timeless bridge connecting tradition, art, and spirituality. I am Avdi Chordia. I'll be talking about the profound impact of Hindu culture on Indonesia. Indian religion has affected the customs and traditions of many Southeast Asian countries, including Indonesia. Notably, Indonesian sculptural art has been affected by Hindu religion, showcased by the statues depicting Hindu deities such as Vishnu, Krishna, and Brahma. Moving on to the next slide, Indonesian festivals such as Galungan, Nebi, and Waisak resemble Indian festivals. Galungan commemorates good over evil, which is closely related to Diwali, while Vaisak is synonymous to Buddha Purnima, which celebrates the life of Buddha. Lastly, Indonesian architecture also reflects this influence, with the creation of magnificent temples such as the Prambanan Temple, which is the largest Hindu temple on Indonesia, and the Buddhist temple Candi Borobudur. This has brought Buddhism and many Indian concepts to Indonesia, showcasing the lasting impact of Hindu culture in this region. I would now like to call on Anmi, who will talk about this lasting impact in Vietnam. Thank you.
Namaste, I'm Anvi Jordia. I'll talk about the significant impact of Indian culture on Vietnam. In Vietnam, stories and legends have been influenced by India, showcasing Hindu and Buddhist traditions such as Mahabharata, Ramayana, and Jataka tales. Moving on to the next slide, architectural style in Vietnam, especially in grand temples such as My Son Sanctuary, shows Indian dominance. When Buddhism was introduced to Vietnam, the stupas pagodas were built, showcasing Indian imprint. Furthermore, beliefs such as karma, rebirth, chanting, meditating, and giving offerings to Buddha are deeply rooted in Vietnamese culture. Recently, the Archaeological Survey of India found a 1,100-year-old shivling, which was excavated in Mysore Sanctuary. The impact of Indian culture on Vietnam helped Vietnam enrich its cultural, spiritual, and architectural landscape. Thank you. Moving on to Nirviditi, who will talk about the Cambodian culture.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Yavi Agrawal, and today I will be presenting on the Hindu footprints in Cambodian culture. First of all, Cambodia is home to Angkor Wat, a Vishnupada or Vishnu temple that is not only the biggest Hindu temple in Cambodia, but the biggest in the world. As you can see, it has many architectural similarities with other Hindu temples, specifically those of southern India. Moving on to the next slide. Cambodians have developed a unique Khmer culture, which has derived from the syncretism of animistic beliefs from both Hinduism and Buddhism. This can be shown through the similarities between the language of Khmer and Sanskrit, as many words of Khmer came from another language called Pallava, which derived from Sanskrit. An example of this is the word animal, as animal in Khmer is Sat, and in Sanskrit it's Sattva. Furthermore, there have also been many Sanskrit inscriptions found on the outer walls of Cambodian temples, which further shows its significance. Additionally, Cambodians celebrate Rimkar, the Khmer version of Ramayana, through artistic storytelling. These are some of the many Hindu elements in Cambodian culture. Moving on to Anargya, who will be talking about Hindu elements in China.
Namaste everyone, my name is Anargya Vaidya. I will be talking about Hindu culture in China. India and China have been friends for many years, so naturally, some of India's culture crossed over into China and vice versa. Let's see a few examples where India's culture crossed over into China. One of the biggest examples where India's culture crossed over into China is when Chinese monks invited Indian pundits to China. These monks would then learn Sanskrit and these pundits would then learn Chinese. One of such person who was invited to China was Kumarajiva. Now you might be wondering, who is Kumarajiva? Well, Kumarajiva was an Indian Buddhist scholar. He was considered to be one of the greatest translators of his time. Now, if you look to the top right of this slide, you will see a statue put up in his honor. And if you look to the bottom right of the slide, you will see one of his many translations. The statue which has been put up in his honor here is located in Xiaoling caves of China. Moving on to the next slide. Other examples of when Indian culture crossed over into China was when many Indian artifacts or also many Indian monuments were found in China, and a lot of monuments of Indian style were built in China. And also Indian chants became a part of traditional Chinese music. Now I'll be passing on the mic to Sandy, who will be talking about Thailand.
Can we have a round of applause,
Hello everyone, I'm Sanvi Deshpande and today I will be talking about the substantial impact of Hindu culture in Thailand. An interesting cultural symbolism that matches with Hindu gods is the national emblem of Thailand, which is Garuda or is called Krat in Thailand. The Thai also believe in Buddha and Ganesha. Moving on to the next slide. Just like India's epic Ramayana, Thailand's national epic is Ramakien, translating to the glory of Rama, and is an adaptation with the same characters. Additionally, many Hindu festivals are celebrated with different names in India. For example, Songkran is celebrated as Holi in India. Moving on to the next slide, Prasad Femai is an impressive Khmer ruin featuring the carvings of many Hindu deities. Wat Thak, also known as the Sri Mahamariam Temple, is a temple of goddess Uma. In Thailand, goddess Uma is worshipped as goddess Parvati. Thank you. Moving on, Abhinav will be presenting on Mongolia.
Hello everybody, my name is Abhinav and today I will be introducing Hindu culture in Mongolia. Genghis Khan practiced Tengrism, worshipping the sky god Tengri, and his wife Umayy with intriguing links with Hindu deities such as Shiva and Parvati. Buddhism entered Mongolia through Tibet, deeply rooted in India, significantly shaping local practices. Avalokiteshvara represents compassion and devotion, linking Indian and Buddhist traditions over time. Ancient Sanskrit texts have profoundly influenced Buddhist scholarships and religious life throughout centuries, enriching its cultural landscape. Next, I will be handing over the mic to Advita.
Namaste, I'm Advita and today I'll be talking about the deep cultural ties between Philippines and India. Philippines, the influence of Indian culture is evident in various aspects of the Filipino society. From the name Republic of Maharlika, derived from the Sanskrit word Mahardika, to common shared words such as Guru and Bahala. Indian titles such as Raja and Data were adopted by local Filipino rulers that showcase how political structures were shared. Kings such as Sri Lapu-Lapu and Raja Humabon were kings that fought in the Battle of Mactan and also showcased the similarity in language between the two regions. Now, I'll be moving on to the next slide. In this slide, I have written a few of many words that I thought were the most useful. So, there are many Tagalog words that have been derived from Sanskrit. For example, Devata which in Tagalog means Devta, in Sanskrit, which ultimately means God. In the next slide, I'll be talking about similarity in religion between the two nations. Hinduism and Buddhism, brought to Philippines by the Indian traders, has also left an enduring mark on its society, beliefs, and traditions. Pre-colonial legends even feature Hindu gods and concepts like karma shape local ideas of fate and morality. Today, deities like Sri Ganesha and Lord Shiva are worshipped, symbolizing the strong, deep connection between the two nations. Today, this rich and diverse heritage is what has shaped Philippines into the society it is today. Thank you. I will be now passing the mic on to Yashasvi, who is going to be talking about the impact of Indian culture in Malaysia.
Hello everyone, this is Yashasvi and I'm going to cover the impact of Hinduism on Malaysia. Hinduism has a significant impact on Malaysian culture, society and history. Here are some key points. Hindu culture has shaped Malaysian art, architecture and literature. Some temples such as Batu Caves and Mahamaran Temple reflect the traditional architectural styles and as important cultural sites. In terms of historical influence, some kingdoms such as Srivijaya and Mahajapahit were influenced by Buddhist and Hindu traditions, leading to the spread of governance, Indian culture, and much more. Moving on to the next slide. So, in terms of festivals and celebration, festivals such as Deepavali and Malaysian Water Festival, that is just like Holi in India, are widely celebrated, showcasing Indian culture in Malaysian society. Some language and literature are originated from Sanskrit. Like Malay words, some Malay words and some terms are originated from Sanskrit, particularly in areas of governance, language and literature. Overall, Hinduism has played a crucial role on Malaysia's art, architecture and literature and influencing its history and social dynamics.
Thank you for taking